Hi, this is Billy Core from Carolina Circle City. Let's see, it's Monday, August 29th, 2011, and, I was thinking about something this evening. For the past couple of years now, I've been uploading countless videos of all my Packard Bells, all the way from my, back here it is right here. Here's an old friend we haven't seen in a while. Oh, there we go. The Packard Bell Legend 1510 Supreme, which as of right now really doesn't have any use. I mean, it runs perfectly. It's just, I don't know what to use it for right now because I got so many other Packard Bells. But anyway, from that all the way to what I got now. Behind me here you got my Packard Bell Multimedia D135 running Windows 95, and right next to it right here is my Packard Bell Legend 402 CD running Windows 3.1. That one's from 96, that one's from 95 by the way. But anyway, for years now I've been making these videos, and I don't think I ever really explained the full reason why I like Packard Bell computers so much. Well, as many of you may know, my very first computer was a Packard Bell. Back in December of 1995, my parents bought our very first home computer. It was a Packard Bell Legend 822 CDTW, which ran Windows 95, and it pretty much came with the exact same software package you see on all my Packard Bells nowadays: Navigator, KidSpace, My First Encyclopedia, etc. But it was that computer where I really learned the basics of PCs. And almost 16 years later, I'm trying to get a major in computer information technology. I got my own computer repair business, and another interesting thing coming up soon, hopefully, involving that. And all thanks to that Packard Bell Legend 822 CDTW. Now, unfortunately, that computer was replaced in 1999 with a Hewlett-Packard computer which ran Windows 98 2nd Edition. And about a year later, in 2000, that Packard Bell 822 was sadly given away, and I haven't seen it since. And it was in 2005, the early part of 2005, when I began really getting into 90s nostalgia for the first time, and I really wanted to recapture my youth. And it all started when I found an eBay auction, which was from right here in North Carolina, just about 45 miles southwest of here, in a town in Davidson County, and they were selling a Packard Bell Legend 1510 Supreme, full thing, monitor, keyboard, software, and everything, for $50 and $20 shipping. And I immediately bought it with my own money, and about a week later it was delivered to my door, full thing. Unfortunately, the monitor was damaged during shipping. Thank you very much, UPS. And it knocked the whole vertical horizontal hold out, and there was nothing you could do about it. But everything else was intact, and I started getting back into Packard Bell computing thanks to, here we go again, this computer right here, which was very similar to my 822 CDTW from 1995, except this was about a year newer, and that my original was a tower. This one was a 4x4 desktop. By 4x4, I don't mean it can go off-roading, but you get the point. And then 6 years later, I got about 5 Packard Bells now, and all came from good old Value Village and here in Greensboro. My most recent Packard Bell purchase was back in May of this year, which was this computer here, the multimedia D135. And yeah, and I know Packard Bells really get a lot of bad reputation, and it was all because of an article by, I think, PC World magazine in the mid-90s rating the top 10 worst PCs of all times, and Packard Bell was either number 1 or number 2 on that list, and despite that, I've never had a single problem with any of my Packard Bells, well, except for that Legend 3550, but that may have been my fault. I don't know yet, but that's all in the past now. But yeah, and Packard Bells, they were pretty advanced for their time. Back in the mid-90s, if you bought a Packard Bell, you pretty much got all you needed to last you for a good while. You'd buy a Packard Bell computer, set it up, and all your software would be on there that you wouldn't get with any other computer. I know Packard Bell, a lot of people criticize Packard Bell for their humongous software packages, but really, when you think about it, it was quite a unique feature, because they gave you good programs such as Microsoft Works, Microsoft Money, Quicken, children's software, which were, I believe, My First Encyclopedia, Toonland, Spider-Man Cartoon Maker, and the storybook games, those, let's see, The Pirate Who Wouldn't Wash, and Millie Fitzwilly's Mouse Catcher, and all those children's games, by the way. I got a lot of mileage on that first one back in the 90s. But anyway, and let's see what else they come. They came with a program called Action 3D, which was a poor man's version of PowerPoint, and the Mayo Family Cookbook, and a few other little interesting features along the way. And pretty much you didn't have to go out and buy any more software, which is kind of sad nowadays on computers. You buy a brand new Windows 7 computer from, like, let's say Dell or HP. No, HP quit selling computers, as we all know, a couple of weeks ago. But anyway, pretty much buy any new computer nowadays with Windows 7 or whatever, and sure, you'll get software pre-installed, but it's this crappy bloaty trialware, which nothing but demos and just take up all kinds of space. And which brings me to another idea I just thought of, Packard Bell Navigator, which was criticized way too much in my opinion. It was because when you think about it, Packard Bell, when they were popular, this was when computers were first really going mainstream back in the mid-90s, and no one really knew how to use a computer. The interface for Windows 3.1 or even Windows 95 was just foreign to a lot of people. So what Packard Bell did was create a software program called Packard Bell Navigator, which was pretty much a program that gave you a user interface in the form of a house.
Welcome from Packard Bell.
Whoa,
we offer you two
there.
computing environments to choose from, Packard Bell's Navigator or Microsoft Windows. You may also begin by taking a quick lesson on using the mouse.
I joke about the using the mouse lesson a lot, but really when you think about it, not many people did know how to use a mouse in the mid-90s, and it probably came in handy, because as you can see here on Navigator, like I was saying, it's an interface in the form of a house. It gives you access to all your programs and tasks, and let's see, you got, like I said, Microsoft Works and Money. And let's say you wanted to get on the internet, which there wasn't much of an internet back then, but it came with all your necessary programs. Let's see, your program for your internet news groups, internet mail, Prodigy, CompuServe, two names you'll never hear nowadays, and good old America Online. And there it is right there for just for the heck of it. But, and there's the button to go to the tutorials, anyway. But yeah, that was pretty revolutionary for that time. But with all that aside, why do I like Packard Bell computers? Well, I guess it's just my heritage. My very first computer was a Packard Bell, and you know me, I'm incredibly nostalgic for the 90s and my own childhood, and that Packard Bell computer was a very important part of my childhood from 1995 to 1999. That was what I used as a computer, as well as my dad and everyone in my family, and getting on dial-up internet. And so when I got to thinking about a few years ago, when I realized that first one was really gone, I got to do something about that. And so my quest right now, the reason you see all these Packard Bells is because pretty much I'm trying to recapture that childhood of mine. When I first turned on that Packard Bell in 1995, saw Windows 95's interface and learned about it. It was pretty cool, I must say, and my quest is to find either that exact same Packard Bell Legend 822 CDTW, which getting that back is probably as likely as me gaining the ability to travel through time, but or finding another Packard Bell Legend 822 CDTW, or I'd even settle for a Packard Bell tower, a mini tower Packard Bell, manufactured anytime between August 24th and December 31st of 1995. And by the way, if anyone can help me out on that, please let me know, because I'm desperately looking for a Packard Bell that age. And as you can see, my Packard Bell videos on this YouTube channel have been very, very popular. I've gained a lot of new friends through these Packard Bell related ventures of mine, and I appreciate all the hard work you guys have done, and all the support, and hopefully I can give some back to you sometime. And like I said, if anyone has any leads to the whereabouts of any Packard Bell Legend 822 CDTW or a similar model from late 1995, please let me know as soon as possible. And I'll go ahead and shut up now so you can get some sleep. This is Billy Core signing off.